Let me make sure I get everything started on this side. Let's get it started. Oh, let's get it started. Okay, I'm live on Facebook on my business page. So anybody who chimes in, chimes in. If they don't, they don't. But we're going to run this show, okay?
All
So
right.
we've already sent out announcements. Everybody know. So whoever comes on, but then they will get the replay. So I want to welcome everybody here to Who Am I? This is a women's seminar, web conference, free. And I pulled out the bomb diggity bomb coaches. One of them I've coached before. The other one we've coached each other.
Many times.
We've been there for each other for as much as we can be, and it's a blessing to be with these two ladies. I'm gonna come to the front and introduce them both and let them give you a spew of themselves. First of all, I'm gonna say that hello everybody, I am Coach Melvie of Rebirth Dimension Holistic Healing. I'm a minister, I'm a coach, life coach. I am also a holistic healing spiritual counselor. So, and we're going to give all of our information at the end, but I'm going to go ahead on and pass it on to the next counselor or coach. Who wants to take on? Who wants to go next? Jasmine or Corey? Corey.
No,
she trying to see we in the screen differently. She trying to talk about me, but she going down. But I'm over. But see, I'm on top of her on my
oh
Zoom.
Lord, okay. Oh my God.
Okay, so who going next?
I am Jasmine Jackson. I am a life coach, personal trainer, author, mommy, Jayonce of all trades. And I just love helping people, women, men, and just trying to get people to get their life together.
All right. All right, Coach Corey.
Listen, so I just want to give a disclaimer.
Go ahead.
Mel calls me a coach. I am not a certified coach anything, but
he will be in 2.5 seconds.
All right. So what I do have is extensive education and history in the mental health field since 2008. I've worked in various capacities in Pontiac and also here in New York where I'm at now. I work actually on a psych ward where I take care of our patients. And currently in school, I am an ordained minister as well. I don't even know how many degrees, but we're going for another one in clinical clinical psychology, because eventually I do want to be, a one-on-one counselor. So,
all right. With that being said, we got some power pack women on this thing, and I'm just gonna say, it's gonna get real and it's gonna get raw on here because these two don't hold them up. I'm just gonna say, and I don't want them to. I need the real and the raw because we need to reach out to women to pull them out of those corners that they get into. We need to pull women out of those places to say, look, and see, I've done this and I got one of them on board and she knows I will let her have her moment. And I will go, I'm going to get real quiet. I'm going to let you have your moment. But then we're going to get real. Jasmine, she'll tell you. But Jasmine, she's also a good coach herself because she real as it gets.
Yo, there's been plenty of sessions where you said, so what do you need me for? I need to talk to myself and you are myself. So I got to talk to you.
Okay. Talk therapy. That's it. That'll do it.
So the theme of this conference today is called Who Am I? Why did I come up with that topic? That's a good question. Because we, most women, not a lot, but most, some of them younger, sometimes it takes you to get to a certain age to realize the exclusion of Jasmine, because Jasmine's like half my age, but she know what she want, where she going, she got to figure out them avenues. She be acting like she don't. I don't know why she don't. She be playing too much.
I just need you there. Don't do that.
And that's true. That's basically what we do for each other as women.
Sometimes there's nothing wrong with little affirmations.
Right. We don't need anyone to tell us what to do. We need someone to hear us so we can hear ourselves. Okay, Melvina, that sounded dumb. Okay, well, no, wait a minute. That might have, well, let me put A and B together. Well, no, A and B don't get together. Let's kick that out and just put C together. Let's figure this out. And sometimes that's what coaches do. That's what we do. Right. We give you your moments. We let you rant and rave, because that's how you heal, first of all, because you got to get this all the muck and mire and the dirt and the grime and the ugliness
Yeah.
to figure out, who the hell am I? Who am I? What am I supposed to be doing? Yeah, what are you supposed to be doing? Especially if you're making mistakes that you probably shouldn't be, but it's not my job to tell you that. It's you to figure it out. So the one question I wanted to come to a lot of women today is, those of you who do chime into this video right now or afterwards, I want you to take time out. If you don't have a notebook, get a notebook out, get a journal,
That's a
and
great idea.
at the top of that book, write down those 3 words: who am I? And I think this is a good assignment for any woman who really does not know what her destiny is, what her journey is.
Yeah.
Who am I?
And yeah. So I'd like to just actually follow up with a disclaimer.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm not a licensed therapist. And I also want to say that what I'm going to say here tonight is not going to be solely directed at anyone, any party, or any life situation that's either been a part of my life experience. I'm not here to exploit anybody or tell anyone's business. And I just needed to say that because I understand that there's a lot of people with different types of disorders that will allow them to take things personally that are on, that may be said on here. So I just want everyone to understand that if something stings a little bit that we say, then just take it as it is and learn from it. Please try to leave the offense out of it.
Yep, I agree.
And chew the meat, spit out the bones.
There it is.
If it doesn't apply to you, there's no need to even get mad about it, because that might, and then at the same time, that might be something for you to chew, like she said, chew on it, because you might not think it might not apply to you, but then later on you may, oh, wait a minute, then that might just,
why was I so offended, right?
Give it some breathing room, because you might have to come back around that circle and go, oh, okay, I'm sorry. We've all been there. So that's the question I want everyone to ask themselves. Who am I? Write down, draw a picture. I think this is the best thing I ever done for all my students, my clients. Write that picture. If you need to draw a picture of how you see yourself, draw that picture. If you got to write it in a poem, if you got to write sentences a word, whatever it is you need to do, be real about it. It ain't gonna be pretty, especially when you're trying to start over and start fresh in life. So draw that picture, because at the end of the day, when you're done with this whole scenario of, whether you go to coaching or not, you get to look back at that picture and see where you came from, because that's the setting point for your goals. That's the setting point for you cleaning up some things. That's the setting point for your healing. So ask that question. Who am I? Do you really want to know? Are you afraid? Are you ready to face that truth? Are you ready to heal? Are you ready to get down and dirty with all of it? Are you ready to deal with the past? Are you ready to look at your own truth and your ugliness in your truth? That's how you get to the who am I. Go ahead, Jazz.
I was gonna say, I often find that when you ask people who they are, they do have to take a moment to really gather themselves to figure out actually how they express themselves and who they are. And I think that when you are going through this who I am assignment, be very, very mindful of your trauma, because I work in behavior health as well, and we are trauma informed. And a lot of times the reason why people are or have these disabilities or disorders or whatever is because there was a traumatic situation that actually changed their amygdala. And you have got to be able to look that in the eye. What was my trauma? Were there many traumas? And what did I take, good and bad, from that trauma? Because a lot of times people just take the bad and you do not look at the good. And sometimes you need to look at both, write that out, because with the good, you know what you took from it, the lessons, but with the bad, you know what to face, how to counter that. And that's very important when you're doing the Who I Am assignment, because trauma changes the brain. And
That's
so
right.
whatever happened to you, if it happened to you when you were a child, it changed you from that moment and shaped you from there on out. And so we got to figure out where that trauma started, where was the brain at that time, and where we trying to go, and what steps we need to take with a coach or a therapist or a so-and-so. Like, trauma's very, very much the very first step in looking at who you are, because a lot of times that determines where you're going to be. And you may get somebody that's phenomenal as a coach and a therapist who will actually look at your trauma and go from there. Because if I know what your triggers are, I know how to kind of work around and get you to talk about that, to goal set from that.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah. So what we're talking about essentially is like emotional age. So not just who you are, but who you are as a continuum. Who were you from birth to 5, from 5 to 10, from 10 to, and so maybe it would help to break those things down. That way it'll give you some space to, really think about, like you said, what were my traumas at each of those ages.
Right.
I think at any point in time, I know I can look back on some things and be like, damn, that was, something bad happened to me when I was this age and that age. And how did that affect me growing up? I'm almost 50, but it's like I'm still discovering a lot of that for myself. So I would say who I am is just a continuum. And I think people should be patient with themselves and really dig in deep. A lot of times with the trauma, there's a huge lack of self-awareness. And that's why people are not healing. That's why people are unable to say, this is my triggers, this is my behavior, this is why I'm 50, 60 years old acting like a 5-year-old. And so it's like, it is going to take somebody else to kind of point that thing out to you and be like, listen, we gotta get up in there and see, it's, we build walls around that. And then we stay in that emotional low health and, call ourselves grown and stuff. And it just doesn't work like that. So
and a lot of the those two words right there, triggers and trauma, it's like people don't realize that they go hand in hand. They truly go hand in hand, and I can attest to it because I didn't realize it myself that I was dealing with abandonment issues, and you think it's something, when you think of abandonment issues, you're like, okay, you don't think, unless you've gone through it yourself, you don't think it's one of those real bad situations like your boyfriend left you or something like that, but when your parent passes away or a parent leaves the house or the family breaks up, those kids, that's a trauma. That's a big trauma in them, because they start thinking, the first thing they think is, what did I do wrong?
Yeah. A
They
lot of
blame
people
it on
don't even
themselves.
realize it's a trauma. They feel like this is just a normal dysfunctional way of life that they've been living. And you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them it was a trauma. You can't tell them society said, no, what happened to you was really wrong. Your family was dysfunctional. A lot of people are not trying to hear that. So it's kind of hard to undo all that as well. So I think it's just like you said, being real with yourself with it, like being open enough to hear a different point of view on your life, period. And that might be quite painful sometimes. So
I was gonna say, and triggers are so tricky, because you really don't know what a trigger is until you step into that thing not knowing it was a trigger.
Right.
Yeah.
I just had a really bad breakup, and I was driving my friend was driving me somewhere, and I just started like hyperventilating. Like, I didn't even know that this was a trigger for me, and then you have to step back and be like, you know what? This love that you had, or whatever the situation is, was traumatizing, which means that it has some type of level of toxicity in it, and you don't need to be a part of it, and yet you walked away.
Exactly.
People don't even know they're a trigger. They have triggers. Don't even know what it is.
Don't even realize it. But yet they're continually attacking and attacking and attacking. And there go that phrase, hurt people hurt people. You don't even know you're hurt But you think you have it together, and you sit up there saying, "Well, I did it, and but yet you're and everyone think you're crazy, and they don't. And then you think, and you know what gets me is how some people will be like, I'm crazy. There's something a badge you want to wear,
Right?
That's not a badge I want to wear because you we crazy. I'm crazy.
Yeah.
You don't even know why you saying that. That's the sad part about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really sad when you're proud to say you're crazy, and you don't even realize that you're literally dysfunctional right now. You're just trying to survive to keep from looking at the trigger or the pain that you're throwing out at everyone else, and it's a sign of being out of control.
And speaking you continuously speak those things over your life as well.
Mm-hmm.
You have accepted the trauma, don't know what the trigger is. All you know is that it is dysfunction, but you okay with living with dysfunction because that's who you are. That's the same narrative that you speak over your life. Before I can call you crazy, if you called you crazy, I know it's okay for me to do it.
Right? And they think it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand
some of these things are also a culture, a culture of, like, here in New York growing up, it was a thing where you didn't want to be soft. You wasn't supposed to be soft, and if you were soft and all this stuff, and it's just like, I have women my age still talking like that, and it's like, what's wrong with being soft? Like, what's wrong with being a soft woman and not having that? Why are we out here just being loud and obnoxious and unprofessional? It's just ridiculous. But sometimes I think that's just a culture thing, not just with us, but just across cultures. It's very different behavior.
You have the Spanish. Yeah, I was gonna say you have Spanish, and the women say that the men have the machismo. I mean, it's everywhere, y'all. It's like you can be vulnerable. If you are vulnerable, you're a lush or you're soft. And I'm from Jersey, so I feel you. That's the whole.
That when someone called you soft, that was like fighting words.
I'ma throw hands. I'ma throw hands. But I actually just decided, like, my femininity is sexy, friend. I want to be feminine. I want to be soft. I don't want the connotation of strong, because even though I'm strong, friend, I'm gonna shed a tear when I'm sad, and it made me feel so good. And guess what? I know what to do. What's next?
And that's why I love women so much, because I hold on to this. And I remember when I was attending church, there was this one pastor, and she had made me feel like, okay, something about women, I don't care who you mad at or what you're going through. If you see that other woman hurting, all of a sudden, okay, we're going to deal with this mad situation later, but right now my heart is right here with you. That's how it goes with us. I don't care. I might just want to cuss you out, but wait, hold on. Let's step out of this right now. Let's take care of this.
Right.
It's a matter of the heart right now. When women get together, when we really step out and help each other, and we bend and put the messiness that we grow up in and all the stereotypes that we deal with, when we put that aside, when we truly get together heart to heart to heart, we are some powerful beings. Oh my God. It's amazing to see it. I love it.
You can see it sometimes, and it'll just be like a vibe. Women are a vibe. Seriously, like, women bring so much to the table. And I think that the part of, what makes us who we are is how we walk the journey. And it is hard to hear some of the flaws and the triggers and to talk about the traumas, but then it is so healing to be on the other side of all of that BS, and for you to be like, I literally took a different route than someone I've known in the past. That's such a beautiful thing. The path to figuring out who you are is so beautiful. Like, I am younger than you guys. I'm 30 years old. And I know damn well who I am.
She does.
And I know what I want. And I also know what holds me back. And it's loyalty. And I feel like I want to help everybody, and you can't help every damn body. You only help yourself. And I know that whenever something is, if I'm having a rough day or if I'm having something, let me tell you, the root of the problem is that I'm being more loyal to whoever the person is in this problem than I am to myself, because I'm number one. And nobody accepts that. And that's, a lot of people don't. I'm not gonna say nobody, but a lot of people don't accept that we are our number ones. Right. That our children and our husbands and our moms and our dads and our sisters and all these other things come 2 and 3 and 4, behind us. So I just think that it's such a beautiful walk to really get to know who you are. And then when you do know who you are, it can only expand from there, because then you can actually plan the rest of your life.
True. I love it. Go ahead.
I think so, somewhat. I think you know who you are right now. That may change in 10 years. You might be a whole different person. I'm certainly not who I was at 30.
I agree.
So I don't know. You know me, I like to print out stuff. So who I am. So I'd like to just go on a few things about what people think they are as far as who they are. A lot of people feel I am what I do, meaning their job, their titles, their, stuff like that. So do you guys agree with that? I am what I do?
I do, because that's what we've been ingrained to believe. We're raised to hear about the titles. Okay, I have, you graduate kindergarten, and then you go to high school, and then you go to college, and then all of a sudden you have this degree, and then all of a sudden degrees gives you this acclamation that you're supposed to be. I have a master's, and then I have a doctorate, so now you got to call me a doctor. Same thing in the religious arena. I'm a pastor, I'm a minister, I'm a deaconess. You got to give me this respect. So it seems like you're always trying to either get to the level where they are, so you can feel like someone's chiming in. Hallelujah.
I think it's a culmination.
It's but you're dealing with this stereotype of trying to. Hello, Diane. I hear you. I see you in here. I hear you're in here.
Welcome.
Hello. She's connecting.
Okay.
But I just wanted to. It's just, those titles, it can make you crazy because you feel like you're always trying to get to the next level and you never are enough.
That's right. And so the trap in that can basically be like a lack of expectation for yourself, or I am what I do, getting caught in the trap of consistently doing. It's basically what you're talking about. Just doing, and you're not really giving yourself any kind of accolades to say that I've accomplished something. I just am what I do, period.
I would agree with that. Totally. Diane, did you make it in, darling? She's still connecting. You know how Zoom is.
Yeah.
Okay, I have Ashley Ann is watching from Zoom, from Facebook Live on my business page. So Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
If you have any questions, Ashley.
She's not connected, y'all. Oh, she's gone. Oh, no. Oh, well. All right.
Probably her face is still connected. She might have a wishy-washy connection. So we'll see what's happening.
All right. What about I am what other people say about me?
You asked some good questions. That's why I think it's like a culmination, because I feel that people take in consideration all of those things. Like, what has somebody labeled me for forever? Who am I at work? Who am I as a mom? Who am I as a creator? Like, you got, what? Why I ain't got your number?
I don't know.
Honey, I guess we're going to have to take care of that, huh?
Hello. Because I do think that, like you said, culturally and just even like as a whole, I think that people do hold on to the hangups or just the things that your mom or dad always said. Like, for example, you can say like, oh, you know how grandma says like, oh, you're my little baby. That's something that you hold forever. I am my grandma's favorite, even though she say I'm not, but I'm her favorite. She said she love all her grands, but I'm her favorite. But that's
Yeah.
something that you take with you, you know, like you daddy's girl. That is a big part of some women's lives. And then when they lose that, that could be
absolutely.
that trigger.
That loses their complete identity. And that's the
Exactly.
problem. That's the problem with other, you know, I am what other people say about me. You know, that's a huge problem.
Right.
Because somebody's always going to disapprove of who you are, what you
Exactly.
do. And then what? You crumble, you know? If you don't have a strong identity, that's not going to work for you. So
That is true. I'm trying to get my screen to act right.
Well, I'm live on Facebook now, so if somebody chime in, I'll let you know.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Diane, I'm glad to have you. I know you're connecting to audio and we can't hear you, so we're waiting on you to get on here pretty soon. But we're just chatting in here, honey.
okay, one more.
You can't
I
hear.
am what I have.
Yeah, I would attend to, a lot of people would agree with that.
Now I'm gonna be real. That's kind of like one of the things that I say to Mel all the time. Like, I am a 3 times published author. I'm a health coach, a life coach, a personal trainer, and I'll tell you in a second. I just don't feel successful enough.
Yeah.
And it would only be because I don't have X amount of dollars in my account, or 700 people didn't buy my book, you know. And I just now started to change that narrative to, girl, you still got life to live. What are you talking about? You are successful. Do you know how many people have published 3 books back to back? Not a lot of them.
That's right. That's right.
You know, not a lot of people can do X, Y, and Z. It's okay to be what is called a multi-potentialite. It's okay, friend.
Right.
Yeah.
It is.
But
Yes,
I'm telling you, Mel cussed me out about that every time we have a coaching session, because I am not what I have. I'm not. And if you keep thinking like that, a lot of the things that you do have, you take for granted. And so you have to like change that narrative.
Yeah.
It's so true. I have gotten to the point where it's like I'm trying not to be so connected to everything. I've accomplished those things, but I don't want to get to the point where I'm holding on to it so tightly that I'm more in tune to what that is than I am in tune to me, because of the fact that we do consistently evolve. We're constantly evolving, we're constantly changing. So yes, that's something that I've done along the journey, but I don't want it to be like, okay, I am, you know, because there's so much more to us. Because we are multifaceted and we have so many different qualities and skills and gifts, that we shouldn't just let that be the one thing that we hold on to, which is a part of life, period. You know what I mean?
That's right. So let's touch on that a little bit. You said multi-gifts and what else?
Multifaceted.
All right. So that's it right there, right? So we find our identity by not what we have, what we do, but based on our values, right? So having a strong core values can help to stabilize an identity.
Yes.
Some people, when you ask someone what their values are, they have no clue what you're talking about.
That's true.
They might know what they are, but they might not really have thought of that as a part of, you know, their identity and their personality. And so I think it's, when dealing with clients, I think it's very important for them to put down, hey, what are your values? You know, what is it that makes you tick inside? What is it that, you know, gets you going? So values, you can have more than, some people say I only got 3. You can have 10, you can have 15. You can have how many values you want, you know, that touch the core of who you are as your identity as a person. So I think it's important to write those down and keep them dear to your heart and really start to discover, what are my values? What do I hold dear? You know, what makes me who? What makes me tick? What is it I'm passionate about? You know, those are the things that make you passionate about something is entwined with your values. I am somebody that loves social justice. Social justice is one of my values. Community, you know, so you just keep going on down the line and figure out, what is it that, you know, you hold dear to your heart? What do you value in this life? So that can help to stabilize your identity, you know, And let me just be clear too, it's okay if you don't have a stable identity. We don't want to shame anyone because as we talked about, you know, those traumas really take away that when we're getting into codependency and we're getting into different disorders that people suffered as a child. And so it's like when we get in our 30s and 40s is we got to do the work. We have to say, you know, I'm not going to be this doormat anymore. These are my values. This is my core identity. And that's something that you have to continuously work on. So we don't want anyone to feel ashamed for not, you know, feeling or even thinking about the things that we're saying right now. This is what this is pretty much for, to tap in.
Yeah.
So we can start having this conversation.
I think you should embrace them. I feel like you should embrace, be able to embrace those things, like embrace that you don't know who you are, because by embracing figuring it out, that is your journey for the rest of 2020 or however long it takes. Like that's the most important, not most important, but the most exciting thing. People think it's finding the love of your life. Friend, please find your own self.
Yes.
Because that's beautiful.
It is.
I love me, friend. And it took a long time to love me.
Yes, right. Yeah.
And honey, I can't love nobody more than I love me.
Honey.
And I'm cute. And I'm cute.
There you go.
What? That's a triple threat, friend.
Honey.
So I encourage you, please, when you figure out that you got to really take that journey, really go ahead and dive in. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And you can be 50, 60 years old. It's never too late. It's never too late to try to figure out who you are as a person.
Well,
a lot of us, even as simple as empty nesting, you're having to really build a whole new identity.
Gosh.
And people don't think empty nesting is a serious thing. It really is. You've been a mom
serious
for 20 years.
Oh my
and now
God.
you have to really figure out who the hell you are after children, you know. What the hell are my hobbies besides taking these kids back and forth to the game, you know? So that's, you know, that's, you said no? You know,
I ain't there yet, friend. My baby's 4. My baby 4. And when she leave the nest, I probably will be like,
it was hard.
We still going to brunch. Look, we still want to go to brunch.
Oh God, I did that.
Love me, please. Yeah. So I can imagine.
Yeah, that's hard.
It was hard. Oh my God. And then what made it so bad is my son, the fact that he was living like right around the corner in the same complex room with his girlfriend. And then I moved to another apartment, same complex. And it was like, finally, I'm like, okay, I'm over all of y'all. I'm leaving. Bye. I'm going across town.
Yeah.
And then finally, but over those years, it was a process because even when he was, you know, when he got engaged and stuff, it was hard because you're a mother. Oh my God, mother and son relationships, those right there are just
a doozy.
Honey.
A doozy. Because I done dated some folks who want to date their mama.
See, that's hard. And then when you don't have like no other kids and you just got you and your son, and see, then you got this crazy girl that want to with the child, and you already know how it's gonna go, right? So you're like, she ain't the one, boo boo. But why? How you know? You really gonna ask me that question, and you know how prophetic I am? Seriously, we going there. You really want to go there with me? You ask me about dreams all the time. You ask me about stuff like this, and we talk about these spiritual stuff, and then you gonna ask me because you all up in your feelings for this girl. I told you not to have sex with in the first place.
Because that's what it be.
Yeah.
But this is what we deal with. So I'm like, God, that's hard. So you talk about empty nesters, then finding out. Okay, first you get it, you're an adult. Then you gotta turn around. You gotta now I gotta get rid of you. Then you got to figure out how to get back to where you were in the beginning before you had a child.
Yeah.
I think the hardest journey is when you first have a kid, because that first year, you are not the person that you were before. And then even after you finally feel like yourself, it's a whole nother damn self.
Yeah.
I'll take over by the time you get done. Because every year.
By the time, so I can only imagine that if I didn't know who I was when she was first born, and then I figured it out, where I'm going back to when there ain't no more practices, ain't no more blah blah blahs, ain't no more well, who am I gonna? Y'all scaring me.
You can't start over.
Listen.
Who am I be?
Wait a minute. You can't start from then. You just got to start over. Because you can't pick up where you left off from. There's no just, it ain't happening.
I'm just going to say, any woman going through empty nesting, please go to adjustment counseling.
Honey.
That's just my suggestion.
Or go get a drink, one of the two. I'm just saying.
How about both? Get both of them. Lord have mercy.
Good Lord. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I did kind of like go back and pick up a little bit where I left off, because it was like, ooh, I could go out and I ain't got to answer to nobody. But then they get 20-something years old and they think they grown for real. And then they want to be like, where you going? Excuse me?
Yeah.
I raised you. Wait a minute. I'm confused now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Girl, it's the ball game is a whole nother story when you enjoy these moments. Because I guarantee you, every year, if you ain't figured it out already, how does she know?
4.
Oh, yeah, every year it changes.
I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And every year, you got to be open to, like, I'm in a different place than my parenting. I'm at a place where I don't want to do it how it was done to me. Mm-hmm. And I do want to see how you feel. Mm-hmm. Even if you're 4, because you are a little person and you have your own rough days.
True.
And that is what I'm trying to take in accord. Because a lot of times you get irritated and then you like, what's wrong with you? Friend, she woke up on the wrong side of the bed just like you did, you know? So it's like, I'm in a different point, and I feel that the way that we communicate does make for a better relationship. And I can see the change in her. She 4 going on 17.
Oh, that's good though. I mean, 4, 5, 6 years old, that's critical time for personality development. So,
and working in behavior health and, like I said, trauma informed, it does make you like redirect the way things are going, because once it is put into your present that this is dysfunctional, or this could cause trauma, or this will negatively affect your child, if you refuse to make a change, you're trash as a parent.
Yeah.
And because I think that's the thing. Everybody is walking around here traumatized. And when you're walking around here traumatized, you can't do any justice for your children or for the people around you. And so that's why I say I'm in a different ball game with parenting, because I really don't want it to just be one-sided. I really do want to consider how she feels, but still make grown-up decisions for her as well.
That's why some people should not have children dealing with trauma, you know, especially if you know you're still in a traumatic place in your life and you're trying to get your own life together. And then all of a sudden, you know how some of the young ladies be like, oh, I'm just going to hug me, baby. I don't need help. Okay, boo-boo. First of all, you don't even know who you are, but you're talking about you just going to have a baby by him thinking he going to be with you. That's the wrong thing. And then all of a sudden you stuck with a baby. Now you don't want to keep him because you want mama to keep him so you can go back out and live your life. Wait a minute.
Don't do it, friend. Don't do it, friend.
It's deep. I mean, it kind of goes back to the not knowing the dysfunction.
Yes.
The culture.
And so now that trauma that you have rolls over onto that child, because first of all, when you're pregnant and you're traumatized and you're going through it, everything that you're going through, that baby feels, and they come out acting 3 times worse.
That's why it's just important to really walk that journey, because like the whole point of being trauma informed is not to blame the person for their actions, but to figure out what stemmed the action. And then from when you figure out what that is, then you can get the proper counseling, the proper life coach, or whatever you need to do. But it's just, please take that journey. Just take the journey of really figuring out your wants, what you value. Like you said, I know when Mel was coaching me, she made me do this whole sheet about, you know, what I believe, what was my deal breakers, what, you know, things like that, because it's small things like that can make a ticking time bomb.
Absolutely.
And when you write it all out, literally by the time you're finished, you like, whew, thought
Yeah.
I need to do a little bit better.
Yeah. And so again, with the lack of self-awareness, I mean, thank God we were all able to reach a different level of growth. But when we're talking about those young girls we were just talking about, there's a lack of self-awareness. So what can we say symptom-wise that one might be experiencing that is trauma-based? Like, I know a lot of people that have extreme anxiety, but they don't know that they're having anxiety. They will say they're not having anxiety. They'll say they're not having depression. They'll say, you know what I'm saying? So I
Because they
think,
think it's the normal.
yeah, that's their dysfunctional norm. So I would say I would just give a symptom of constantly losing something in your life, whether it be just repeated homelessness, or constantly losing a job, or always having some kind of high conflict, non-resolution to your life. Those are all symptoms that you're experiencing or dealing with some kind of trauma that
Yeah,
you are unaware of.
I would also say one of the things that could happen to you that could cause the trauma would be if one of your parents is in a relationship or in constant different relationships, and you feel that parent chooses their lover over you.
Yeah. So that's lack of boundaries.
Because then you don't feel like you have, the mother's love or the father's love or whatever. And that's always a lack of, that causes issues. It's just like the mommy or daddy issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to feel valued in the beginning, even to know what it feels like to carry self-worth. Like,
Yeah.
That's why it's so important for parents to realize that children need both parents. And and it's not always going to be in the house. I understand that. So, because sometimes you get couples together and they think it's a happy joy, and then, they grow apart. That's a part of life. That's just a part of the way it is. It's okay. But at the same time, we need to make sure that that child knows that they're still loved, because whatever the situation is, they need to know they're still important, because if they become absent, they think it's their fault. It goes back to that abandonment thing is real.
Yeah.
It could really cause some, wow, I can just remember my son dealing with that. Thank God him and his dad are now talking, and he found more siblings on his dad's side. He never had siblings. I wasn't having no more kids. But he has another brother and 1, 2, 3, 4 sisters now. His dad was a busy man. I'm just gonna leave it right there. But something that we talked about, I said, you know what? I remember talking about this when you were 5 years old, and now he's gone through some anger issues through it all. He's chosen to be with. He got married to a woman, and sometimes I just realized this. They got so much in common, and the one thing that we mess up is, oh my God, we have so much in common. We're supposed to be together. And whoop, pump your brakes. No, that means both of y'all are hurting. You need him, and you're not being together is very, very bad.
Yeah, that means both people are sick. They're just looking to what's called enmesh with each other.
So it's important that children, like you just said, coming in the beginning, they need to know, they need to understand, because things are so easily traumatic to them than it would be us, because we've gone through so much, and we're trying to clean up our trauma while trying to make sure they're not dealing with trauma. It's hard.
I would say, what do you ladies think is the key to figuring out who you are? I've been jotting down some notes that I really think, but what do you guys think are your key points to figuring out who I am?
Boundaries, likes, dislikes, values, and personality type.
How would you go about doing that, though? Because, okay, I'm going to give myself as a prime example. When I left California, and Vet's on here, so she's a witness to what I've gone through, some of the trauma that I've dealt with as an adult. I left in '99, California, drove to Michigan, and I left Michigan like 2017. So basically 20 years. Now, over those 20 years, now mind you, when I left California, I still didn't know who I was, but I was still trying to figure out what life was about. I was, 31 when I left there, and it was hard. I was lost. I had, got caught up with a married man. I was family issues. I was a single mother. He didn't have his father in his life. I came home because I wanted to start over, and still hadn't figured it out. And I'm still trying to figure out the trauma because everybody was getting hits of it. I didn't literally figure it out until, I would have to say, at least, how old am I now? I would say 2010.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
what is it that you figured out about it?
A lot of the things that, well, the one thing was I had no voice. I didn't have a voice. I was always the one that everyone got a chance to say what I should do and what I shouldn't do. Even when I was an adult, this is what I think you should do. This is what this is what you should do. This is how you should dress. And that's how I got caught up in all the mess in my life, And then again, the childhood trauma. My mom died at 3. My dad died right after high school. So you're lost because you got a father that was strict, but didn't teach you a lot of the rules in life. He just taught you not to depend on nobody. A lot of good that did me. But it was hard because the one thing I realized after all of it, I didn't have a voice. And I'm being honest with you, just this recent, I'm like, all of this was about me not having a voice because I just went through a healing session with someone about a month ago. And that's what it came back to, because I had to go back again to that childhood. Why am I like this? What is it that I'm supposed to do? But who am I? After all of this, crying and everything, who am I? Am I doing the right thing? Am I really supposed to be doing this for women? That question still, every now and then, I would question myself. But it came back to that. Where's your voice at, Melvina? Who are you? What do you believe in? Scratch what everybody else said. And that's why the pushback came. A lot of people said I was stubborn and I had pushback. I got in trouble in church. Yep, sure did. But once I realized what it was about, I didn't care anymore. I was like, I don't care. So, because I felt free, letting it go and pushing back, you can't control me. I'm a human being. And whoever God is, God got me. I don't need you to tell me what. I really had to get to that point in order to get my voice back.
Yeah.
And that's what helped me start determining who I was. It was not an easy road.
I think that, what I was saying, in order for you to know who you are, you have to, have some type of self-worth and some self-awareness of self. Because once you start getting aware of who you are, you can begin to make those subtle steps. And I was going to say, be eager for growth, because you got to come up in this thing with an open mind, because you your worst enemy before anybody else is. And that's the thing. People around you can see you shining, but if you don't understand that part about yourself, then you're not going to shine.
Yep.
And willingness to get out of cultural things that hold you back, like Black people don't go to speak to a therapist. Friend, I need a therapist and a life coach, okay? I need both of them, okay?
Yeah.
And that's very important because, like I said, I'm a life coach, but Mel's my life coach. And let me tell you something. My day did not start off right. And who was in my inbox cussing me out nicely in a motivational way? Girlfriend. Because that's the thing. Every day is an adventure, and you're not always going to have a good day. And every day you're not going to conquer whatever it is that does trigger you. Like, you're only human. So as long as you have the willing to be able to talk to somebody and because that's courageous to me. It is courageous to sit in front of somebody and really be able to spill your guts and then feel released and then move on from that. And the last thing is that who you were, like you said, who you were at 20, who I was at 20, I'm not at 30, and who I will be at 40, I will not be at 30. Like, everything is going to change. And so you just got to roll with the punches and just be willing to change, grow, and get cussed out a couple times. Because, friend, if you one of my clients, You slick getting a little bit of tongue lashing after you get your vent session in.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say? Pain's a great teacher, huh?
Right. I mean, it's a lovely thing. It's like, hey, friend, get yourself together. You got to do the mom face.
Mm-hmm.
And then how many times you be looking at your client? I told you that last week. Mel say that to me a lot. And I'd be like, I told you too. I life coach myself and just let Mel be the moderator. That's really what happened.
Basically. Because we already know how it's going to happen. Like the last time she called me out of the blue. I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go. So
I could be crying at the beginning of the session, and then at the end of it, I'd be like, you gonna send me some assignments so I could look, you gonna send me some assignments so I can work on myself. Cause friend, y'all know I'm about dysfunction of the day, and I'm gonna need all assignments because I need to work this thing on out.
And then you know what I like about this is because one thing we tend to forget is it's easy to be on a coaching session with someone and say, okay, this is what I want you to do. Okay, this is what I want you to do. Sometimes you need to hear them. I mean, literally shut up and hear them, but you need to know when to tell them, I don't want you to do nothing. I ain't got no assignments for you. I ain't got nothing for you to do. Nope, we're not doing nothing this week. You gonna sit your tail still and you gonna go over this. You gonna figure it, you gonna rest. You gonna clear your head. You gonna do whatever you got. You're not gonna do what you normally do. That's what you're not gonna do.
I feel like you targeting me. I know you said don't internalize that, but I feel like she's targeting me. Because a lot of times I don't get assignments to do stuff. It'd be like, go lay down for a week. You doing too much. And I'd be like, whoo. After that week, I'd be like, girl, I'm a brand new person.
You have to. You have to, because we have a tendency as women, first of all, we like trying to walk up Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
Why? Because we trying to make sure little Johnny taken care of, and then the hubby and boyfriend, whoever he is, he got to get taken care of. Then we got to make sure work is taken care of. Then we got to make sure food cooked, and then whoever else in the family, we got to go see Aunt Martha and Grandma and them, and the cousins got to have family reunion, and then the friends want to go out and go, girl, we got to go out and do this. Let me tell you something.
Right.
I ran away from Michigan on purpose.
You and me both.
We got somebody checking in. Key said, love this topic. I was raised by a parent with severe trauma and never got help for it and never talked to anyone about it. And it literally has destroyed my relationship. So honey, it's time to make a change, and it's okay. We love that. You can always change it. It's never too late to change it. And she can hear all you ladies as well. So she can hear us chiming in, but let me tell you something. You can take that trauma by the ankles and shake it out, honey. Because I'm telling you, whatever has happened to you, you can correct it, and you can create a whole new life for you and your baby. Or if you have babies, you can definitely change, and it will be very hard, but it's literally the most eye-opening journey itself. And the traumas that our parents have passed down to us and things, because sometimes you be not even traumatized, but like sometimes you try so hard not to be like somebody that you end up being like them.
Yes.
Because you haven't taken the steps to really do something different. So I would just suggest do something different. Literally do something different, and it's totally okay, because we only have a certain amount of allotted time on this earth. And I just don't want anybody to spend it being sad or miserable when you have this light inside of you just shining and everyone else can see it but you. And I just really want you to understand, do something different.
That's right.
I want to put something on top of that. The one thing that a lot of people forget to do, and it's that hard question, and I'm going to tell you, there's a church that I went to in California called Acts Full Gospel. And when I was going through my ordeal with the married person, and everything was at the head and it was really bad, and I was like, I hadn't contemplated suicide yet, or I think I already had been to the psych ward from taking pills or whatever. I remember I went to a Wednesday night Bible study. And I can't think of his name, but Yvette Elder, what's his name? He wore glasses and he was kind of comical. I can't remember his name though. You know who I'm talking about. But
was it McCoy?
yes, Elder McCoy. And what happened was he was talking about forgiveness, and I forgot what the sermon was, but all of a sudden he said forgive. And I have all of this anger inside me and hurt and confusion, and the world was just upside down. And he said forgive. I was like, what? Now, mind you, he talking to the whole congregation, but I'm having this conversation right here in front of the empty chair in front of me, and I'm like, what? Me and God arguing for real. What? Why I got to forgive? I ain't got to forgive. I mean, for real. And the more I kept fighting it, the more it just ate me up until I just broke down crying. Okay, fine. But that was just the first forgiveness. Trust me, I went through that situation so many times. You know, seriously, forgiving, it was hard. So my question is to the person who just mentioned that, even though you went through a traumatic situation with your parents growing up, can you, in all honesty, heart to heart, forgive them? And that's a deep question.
You know, and I want to add on to that as well. First off, did you forgive yourself for even feeling these things? Because a lot of times when you are in trauma and whatever your response was, we don't forgive ourselves. Like when I got pregnant out of wedlock, I held on to that for so long, because for so long that was not the way. You know what I'm saying? Even though I want to be married and everything now, well, I'm a Capricorn, so y'all know it's real for me. But my number one thing is to, like, be, I guess, the Capricorn dream, be successful, be honest, be blah, 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 you know, have these things. And when I had a kid out of wedlock, I really, really had a hard time with that. So, like, while you're asking, can you forgive your parent? Like, did you forgive yourself? Because whatever has happened, friend, it's okay. It's literally okay. It's literally the past, and we relive it because we do not step in front of that mirror. So forgive yourself too. Even if you know that you didn't inflict the trauma, forgive yourself for forgiving them, because you get mad. You get mad when you got to forgive the person that do something wrong to you. You be like, I'm not, why would I be doing that? Forgiveness is for you, friend. And it took me, I'm 30, like, and I'm still young. And I had to understand, like, I'm not even going to be forgiving. I'm not forgiving you for you, because, friend, you going to live whatever life you trying to live. I don't got to forgive you for me, because if I don't move on past this situation, I'm going to forever be mad. I am going to be an angry Black woman. I just want you to make sure that while you forgiving the person that caused these traumas, forgive yourself first and foremost, and love on yourself, because we don't love on ourselves. We take on these things on our shoulders, and then we feel like we're traumatized and we don't heal, and then we don't love on ourselves. You got to forgive yourself and love on yourself and understand shit happens. I'm sorry, I curse a lot, but it does.
Absolutely. I'm going to be the black sheep here, because I have a problem with those concepts of forgiveness. I feel like it's just me. If the person hasn't asked for forgiveness, then that's not something that I bother myself with. I think what I heard and what she was saying is she's given us a glimpse of the dysfunction that she's suffering and dealing with. And it sounds to me that she's needing to be affirmed and told. And then sometimes we as adults need permission to do something different. So, sis, please do something different.
Please do something different, sis. And we support you.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, the one thing we should realize is that it's a journey. This whole life is a journey. So it's about learning the lessons. And going back to what you said, Korissa, as far as like them asking for forgiveness, It's not even about them asking, because they're probably, some people will never ask for forgiveness
Yeah,
because they're
it's
not
out
in
of
that
sight.
space.
It's
So
out of sight, out of mind with that. That's why I said I have a hard time with those concepts, because I'm not one to just be like, oh, I'm gonna forgive you for myself. No, I'm just gonna forgive myself and keep it moving.
Yeah.
You're not even in the picture in this, you know? I guess that's just how I feel about it.
hey, that's respected 100%.
Mm-hmm. And that's everybody's different background as well. Like your coping mechanism is different than mine. And so out of sight, out of mind, what is going to work for you if it's out of sight, out of mind? Some people internalize, and like you said, you forgive yourself. And sometimes people can't forgive themselves. So I was like, I just really feel like, do something different, sis. Literally.
Yeah, do something different. There's no need to just sit up ruminating about what somebody else has done in your life. I look around that ward sometimes and I'm like, I'm taking care of people that have been used to momentarily heal somebody else's unresolved trauma. So we gotta listen, just keep it moving. Do something different. Go to therapy, get yourself together, see what your values are. You don't have to sit up and just have some long drawn out, oh, I forgive you stuff. Some people did what they did because they wanted to do it. And that's just the bottom line. Sometimes you got to look at it like that. You can't just be sitting up waiting for forgiveness or forgiving people who really seriously meant to do you wrong. Like, what's the point in that? What you ruminating for?
So the
What
thing about it is you got to fix the anger
for the next 2 years about what your parental relationships were like? No, what are you gonna do going forward? It is what am I gonna
That's
do
the
now?
part. That's the
what it
part.
is.
That's the part. The thing about it is, what are you going to do with moving forward? But sometimes some people don't know how to move forward because they're so angry
That's
at
why they
what
gotta do
did
something
Giving
happen.
different.
them the permission
Right.
to say do something
But that's why
different,
they gotta
then
do
keep it
something
moving.
different. Exactly.
Keep it moving.
I think it's a dissatisfaction for you not to do something different. I think that it is a disservice to yourself, and like that's the level of hold yourself in this self-worth bubble. Like, you gonna have to figure it out. That, let me tell you something, you are like the primary. Like, you really have to center yourself. I'm not saying you gotta be walking around here like a hotep talking about I'm God. I'm not saying that. But what I do want you to understand is you are a being that is beyond this world. And let me tell you something, whatever your talents are, can't nobody do them like you. Whatever you got to say, whatever you have to explain, there's nobody like you, and you have to walk in that. Because the fact of the matter is that everybody raggedy to somebody else by accident or on purpose.
Gonna always be.
That's right. That's the
You
truth.
you don't walk in this world. Now some people do, but I don't walk around this world trying to be like an asshole to somebody, but I may be, because my personality may not be for your personality. But then you have people who do things to you on purpose, and since you're gonna have to change this, what are you going to do different in your life? What are these, like you said, what are the boundaries?
Yeah. What is
How
your
about
right?
people don't even have boundaries? Ask all your friends and your clients or whoever y'all talk to, ask them what their boundaries are. Bet you they don't even know what their boundaries are.
That's why I made that an assignment.
Yeah.
Don't be rolling your eyes.
If roll your eyes was a person.
Woo, we had some good sessions. Oh well.
Sis know her boundaries now. She know her boundaries, friend.
Good.
So yeah. What were you gonna say, Shannon?
Nothing. I'm here.
Does anybody have any more questions? Do you have anything to put in?
Any more questions? Anything you want to add? I was gonna say, if you are on Mel's Live or my live, please share this, because these are things that we all need to talk about, but people don't want to talk about. So please, if you are watching, share, because you need to figure out who you are, because I'm over here side-eyeing and I want to help you figure out who you are so that, you can be a better person in life. Okay.
And we can help each other out.
Please hire these coaches, because let me tell you something, coaches will get with you. What a therapist can't do, a coach will, okay?
Because it's different. Because it's different. I say, I'm here to motivate, uplift, and listen. and then curse you out, assign you something next, and then we're going to revisit what you did. Because a lot of times coaching is like, when you go to therapy, they listen. Okay. And then it takes 2 and 3 and 4 sessions to really come up with what your plan is versus a coach. We're going to listen all the way to the last 15 minutes of that thing and be like, all right, this is what I heard. Now, I'm going to ask you, is this what I heard? You're going to affirm or deny. But if you affirm, friend, this is what I got set out for you. Because that is boo-boo, and that's not how we working.
Yeah, I would say get a therapist and a coach. Get both.
Because that's what I said.
It gets to a point where
work it all the way out.
Right. It just gets to a point where you're like, okay, how long are you going to have this pity party? Are you trying to fix this, or are you just want somebody to hear you whine? Because then it's a waste of time. I can understand some things do take a process, especially when they're deep-seated traumas. You know, you have to work with that person very gently. Okay, but then there's sometimes you got to, okay, let me grab this rope and snatch the, you know, because no. And I think it's a good thing if a coach, especially all three of us that I know of, you know, and Yvette's a teacher too, so she probably understands a lot of this, you know, because you're dealing with students, so I'm pretty sure there's a lot of traumatic situations going on. But you know, you have to guide those and snatch them sometimes, because you know, I've been through where you've been. I know where this could potentially go. Now, mind you, I can't tell you what to do. You're gonna do what you want to do, but I'm gonna give you some help. I'm gonna give you some guidelines, because at the end of the day, you still gotta run this journey by yourself at the end of the day. I can't do this for you.
That's what I love about life coaching versus therapy. Like, I think therapy is very beneficial, but that's what I like about a life coach. Because what a life coach does is they do listen to these couple of sessions, and then they come up with activities for you to flourish. Like, a lot of times with therapy, I would go to therapy and leave mad as hell, because I done talked about everything that made me mad, and I'm trying to pull myself together, but the person just didn't give me the steps to calm down. They didn't de-escalate my anger right before I left. They didn't give me any encouragement. Like, when you coach, you listen to hear and learn. And then you start to kind of formulate based off what they're saying, and then you can actually give them the steps to really like start, because we're not going to give you the answer. We don't have the answer. You have the answer. Let me say it again. You have the answer. We don't have the answer. We just have a path that is scientifically gonna work. But you get to be your full self. You don't have to hide anything. And then you get these steps, and these steps could be week to week, monthly, you know, and it doesn't even have, your life coaching sessions don't even have to be every week. You know, I mean, it just depends on how aggressive you are about that change.
Yeah. So with that being said, I want to give the assignment again for everyone who chimes in, who's chimed in now, and those of you who come onto the lives, and those of you who will see the playback, because I will be putting this on my YouTube page, which is Rebirth Dimension. I think I changed it. I think it's still Rebirth Dimension Holistic or Rebirth Dimension on YouTube. I'm trying to get it all in sync. I also put a copy of it on my Facebook business page, which is Rebirth Dimension Holistic Healing, and also it's going to be on my Instagram on which is also Rebirth Dimension Holistic. So the question that I want all of you to think about is, who am I? Get a piece of paper out, a journal, and draw a picture of how you see yourself. This is very important. I cannot stress this enough. I'm gonna tell y'all where I got this information from, because I'm not no one all to know all. Iyanla Vanzant, when she first came out with the starting over house, she had this big old house with all these women in, about 5 at least. And when each new woman had to come in, they had to come in this one room, and they all sat down with the women who are already in the house, and there's a screen that popped up, and these women had to draw paper. So they put the paper up on the screen, and that lady, the young person, the new person had to describe what that picture was. Most times it was the most confusing picture in the world. You would see black colors and you would see all kind of discombobulation. But I feel like in order for you to figure out who you are, you got to be real. Where am I right now? I'm pissed. I'm angry. I'm upset. I'm depressed. I'm whatever. And why?
And why?
Get it out. If you got to sit there and cry, and sometimes we have a heart, as strong as we are, we got the hardest time being real with each other because we feel like what the next person gonna think. We're worried about, oh, she gonna look at me bad, or she gonna think this about me. Cut it, boo boo. Cut it. You got to cut it. Be real.
You know, it's funny because what you hear a lot as a life coach, and I am younger, but what you hear is, why I'm gonna go get some help from somebody who ain't got they ish together. Let me tell you that there's a difference between you and I. I have a therapist friend, and I have a life coach friend, and I have a plan, and I have a sense of self-worth. And that is the difference between being coached by somebody who ain't got their stuff. None of us on this panel right here have our stuff together. I mean, we do, but I mean, not all the time. We are human.
Well, you're
And
talking
what
about
dictates?
gifting life experience as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just, you know.
Like, yeah, so it's like, be open to change, you know, be open to do this assignment. I mean, we're not saying you got to turn it back into us, you know, like school, but like literally go in your room, close your door, put some paper on the wall and draw out who you are, like, and really see if you know yourself.
Yeah.
And then if you think that what we saying got a little twang to it, then you go ahead and you may want to reach out to Mel or me or Miss Korissa and just really see, like, okay, Korissa said no, me or Mel, and just see. I can't play with you. And see, you know, what little gems we have for you, because I'm probably like baby Mel. I ain't gonna lie to you. Probably. I'm just probably like baby Mel. So it's just like I know that I still have things going on, but I also know that, like I said, I go through my whole session explaining what I need to do and then get it confirmed, and then I be like, thank you, girl. I knew I need to do that. I just need somebody else smart to tell me to do that too.
She don't even tell me. Listen, let me tell you what Mel does to me. I go to her with a problem. She'll just sit there like this. And then at the end of it, she says, oh, okay, so, but you already knew that, right? I'm just like, you know what, I did. And then we're done. Just like that.
She's like, you know how you Capricorns be. Y'all know everything. And then you just want to make sure that I confirm. I need you to touch and agree. Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Period.
So wait a minute. Wait a minute. So Shauna, I do you the same way I do Jasmine.
Yeah.
You do. You just sit there just like this. Yeah. Oh, says, but you already knew all that. So and then that's it. And then you just like, damn, well, I guess I just need to process it a little bit. But thank you.
She left me a 1-minute voiceover today when I was having whatever issues I was having, and I didn't even damn respond to her. Let me tell you what I did. I went and worked out and said, I worked out, I feel better. Because I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to go back and let you read me and then tell you that I knew that I was about to get read. That's why I had came to you in the first place. Fix you.
I'm good, ain't I? I'm good.
So life coaches have life coaches, people. It's normal.
Yeah, it really is.
That's what I learned to do.
More about how you're coaching, nutrition and exercise, correct?
Yes, I do all that good stuff. So I am a nutrition. I'm gonna say I am a nutrition.
I might have to pay you because I need some help over here with my.
I am a nutrition and health coach, and I do like meal plans. I do all types of stuff, accountability. I have an accountability group, that membership that's coming up for all types of people. And with that, it's just going to be like a small membership where you may not want to pay for one-on-one coaching. You want to be in a group and you pay $30 a month. So that's $1 a day. And every day you get to drop in what you ate, what you did. Once a week, I'm going to do a virtual workout. I am a personal trainer as well. So I just put all them things in there for once. And like if you know anything about, like, if you can tell, you can kind of tell what kind of coach I am, because I'm definitely gonna, hey friend, get up, let's go. Because I feel like a lot of times people, Black women, thick Black women, let me just put that out there. Women, I used to be 3'11", so you can tell the difference. But I think that as long as I was big, I never saw anybody who was thick or had been through that journey like me. I always see people that are small or skinny. And when you're small and skinny, you are effective, but you do not know the emotional drawback that it has on you being overweight. You don't know why certain, like, big women always keep on a jacket or always covering up. And it's just like, you get to see somebody who look like you, who's done it. And I just do everything through Goddess Lane Consulting. That's my health coaching and my life coaching. But girl, I do it all, friend. I just want women to really understand that you can really find a accountability group, or just find something that you're comfortable with. A lot of times we don't see that.
How important is that for cultural change and dysfunctional like,
let me tell you something.
yeah, like, what did you go through? Did you have to learn, like, hey, what my family's been eating is really not been okay? Or
Number
how do we
one,
get to this point? Or
number one,
how many
I
Black
realized,
women do you meet where you're like, sis, put the gravy down, yo. You don't need smothered everything, right? Okay, go ahead.
all of them, because one thing about it, one thing about the African American culture for sure is that we are never taught nutritional, no nutrition, and we're not told to work out. We're also not told that working out can go ahead and release those endorphins that really do kick off a mood booster. They really don't know. A lot of times I have to tell women that it's okay, sis, you don't have to eat all your food. I know that your grandma told you if you get up from this table, you're gonna get your tail popped. But friend, you're an adult now. Who gonna pop you, sis?
Okay.
You know, and also, we're not telling you that you always got to eat clean. We're telling you to eat clean, 80% of the time. Have your little 15 cents on the weekend, but you just don't overdo it. Be assured that you have to understand that the foods that we eat as this culture, and I have seen, Hispanic cultures as well, the food that we eat are fattening. They make high cholesterol, high blood pressure. We don't drink any water. If we do drink water, we got to add some Mio to it. I mean, we can never just, and this is like a lot of things just in general, but there's a lot of things that we do culturally that just we seen our parents do, and it don't make no damn sense, friends. So a lot of my clients, I'm like, put it down. But this is why. Put it down. But this is what you can do. It's just ways around this. It's always ways to get around it. But I do know that culturally, we wasn't taught that.
And that's another part of who am I.
Mm-hmm.
I am what I eat. I am what my surroundings are. I am. But we need to change some of those I ams.
To what I'm about to do, because I'm telling you, I always need a plan. I think the most important thing for real is goal setting, because when you goal set, right, you get to look at the end of that goal and say, so sis, you gonna reach that? Oh, well, I get to say that to you. So you gonna reach that? Okay, how? What we doing?
It takes it back to you.
What we doing? How you gonna do that? Because I'm gonna be over here like, go ahead,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead. I'm gonna cheer you on, friend, but I am gonna hold you accountable. Well, you said that this week you wasn't gonna eat this, but then you had ate this. So, friend, I don't know. You may have to try this again. We need a more adjustable goal that you are realistically gonna reach. Because, friend, losing 20 pounds in a week ain't gonna work, friend.
I don't know who you lose 20 pounds. That's water weight. Anyway.
I like water weight being off though. Water weight make a difference sometimes. That's why you really should, little tippy tip, you really should measure yourself and weigh yourself when you first start, but then go by your measurements, because friend, the weight, the scale be lying. because we are naturally curvy, we are naturally thick. And what other people don't know is, these braids, they weigh 30 pounds, friend. I'm not getting on nobody's scale with these braids. I'm telling you, it'd be little tricks like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could save your whole, like, what women do is they start a diet and they start working out, or they'll start walking for 30 minutes. And then what they do is every 2 days they get on the scale. But what you don't realize is you have to trick your body and get that 21-day, thing in, because you done did so much to your body before this 30 days. It's gonna take a chance. You really gotta be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was a Black woman.
Well, that's true. That's true. So, with that being said, do we have any more questions or comments from anyone? Oh, while we're at it, I need Jasmine, can you put out your contact information for anyone who wants to contact you for coaching or fitness classes or anything?
Yes, you can reach me at goddesslaneconsulting.com or Goddess Lane Consulting on Instagram and on Facebook.
Okay. Coach Corey?
I would say contact these two, wherever y'all are at on screen, if you need coaching. Definitely do not contact me. I'm not licensed. I did put together a little packet though, okay? If you would like some self-help worksheet downloads, email me, KAYGUYTON77@gmail. The little packet I put together is
What a whole book.
It's about links. There's a bunch of links on there for personality testing, which I think is important so you know what kind of personality you have. There's 3 boundaries worksheets and some education on how to implement boundaries. There's some self-care after trauma worksheets. There's a strengths worksheet and a value sheet as well. I have these 2 books I want to share, especially with the young lady that talked about her relationship. I don't know if you can see it or if it's backwards. It's called
I never knew I had a choice.
Yes. So this is something that in my social work degree, they made us go through this. This book is just a long workbook. It's by Gerald Corey and Maureen Snyder Corey. And so basically it just makes you go through just the different choices in life and different traumas that you might need to experience or deal with. The other book is this one. It is the Cognitive Behavioral Therapy workbook for personality disorders. CBT is probably for anyone, it's just not for personality disorders itself. This is a step-by-step program. It goes by the different personality types as well, or personality disorders. It's by Jeffrey C. Wood, who is a PSYD. Besides that, once you get those downloads, or if you request them from me, I can send them back to you through your email. If you'd like to go over them with anyone, contact one of these 2.
Well, I'll chime in with that because I actually wrote a book. It's Captioning Renewing Mind, Body, and Soul. It's a printable. You can get it from my Instagram link. And it has mindfulness techniques, goal setting, how to date yourself, diet tracking, nutritional tracking, a coaching assessment to see if you need to be coached or if you need to do this thing by yourself. And I was trying to find it, but I can't find it right now. But you can definitely do that. It's Capturing and Renewing Mind, Body, and Soul for the Goddess. But I actually like both of your choices as well. So either way.
Yeah, I do that. And I'm coming out with a self-help journal probably within the next couple months. I've been procrastinating, honestly, for the last, I don't even know, maybe 2 years now. But, I mean, fingers crossed that thing gets out there sometime by 2020. I'm hoping by Christmas. That way people can gift it and you can really just kind of get down into the nitty-gritty of yourself. So that's all I have to add for tonight.
The last thing I want to add on is my book. Can you guys see it?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm still putting it out there for those of you who have not read it. It's called What the Hell? A Life Testimony. One thing I want to say about this book is it's not just a life testimony. This is a journey that a lot of us take, and we ask that question: what the hell did I just go through? You know, that's the one question. What the hell just happened? What the hell? You know,
exactly.
Conversation in your head with somebody, you listen to some stuff, you be like, what the hell? You literally think that. And
I say that
sometimes
every day.
when you look at somebody's life, you don't even realize that's what you don't even look like what you've been through. What? You know, so this is a book from, it wasn't just about what I went through, but this is a book that I wanted to be relatable to a lot of people, for them to be able to go, you know what? I got some ish to get through too. And I know it's okay because somebody else out here has gone through it and they're not embarrassed. They're not embarrassed to tell their story. Because yes, I got some flack for this book. I'm just saying you, but you know what? It got to the point where it's like, so it's my life. This is my journey. This is what I went through. You don't get a right to tell me what not to do. So this is mine. Everyone has one. So I encourage you to get the book because it's a trilogy and I'm almost done with the second book. I'm trying to get some fine tuning done. There is a second book and there's a third one, but the second one is how she rises through the ashes, because she rises. The last 20 years that I've been through, she rose through the ashes. She came up like a phoenix. I can't wait for that book. But at the same time, I also want you guys to check out my website. Go to my I have a website, y'all. I done something. I got a website.
Me too, friend. Me too.
Y'all don't understand when you do things like that. Those are the little things. So and that's when it brings me back, and I'm almost done. And just bring me back to something you said. Someone said, you know how some people say, well, how do I need a life coach when she ain't got her life together? What you mean? I don't got to be rich for my life to be together. You ain't got to have a big house for your life to be together and driving 2 cars, and you know, that does not dictate your life being together.
Ooh, say a word, friend, say a word.
So it don't dictate, because you could be grandma on the porch and be happy as hell.
As hell.
That ain't got no issues, and her life is together, because guess what? She rocking on that. Y'all remember the movies where you seen like Cicely Tyson? She rocking on the rock and just be looking out at the daggone field and ain't mad at nobody business but just watching it.
Hold on, twiddling her damn toes. That's what I'm doing right now. Happy,
got peace.
Friend.
Got peace. Got peace. That's what I'm trying to say. So that was the reason for that book. You know, I'm living in a 2-bedroom apartment upstairs, okay, in Tornado Alley. But guess what? I got peace. That's what it means when your life is together. That's what it means you're living in abundance. That's what it means that, you know what? That's what abundance is. Everything else is just butter.
Yeah. Extra.
Butter. Seriously. So if you are interested in any of my sessions, I have a lot of sessions going on. Go to my website, which is Rebirth Dimension. What is it? RebirthHolistic.com. RebirthHolistic.com. Check it out. Check out Jasmine's stuff. Get in contact with Corey for some information. And I don't care what you say, Corey, you're still a coach. I don't care. Let me just say this right now, and I'm gonna give this to you, and I'll be the coach right now. You ain't got to be daggone certified to be a life coach. Guess why? Because you certified by life itself.
Ooh, out here dropping gems. Who the hell are you?
That's probably Jasmine, y'all. Y'all encouraging this.
Oh, you know it's because it's not on me, friend. You know, like, you know, she said that in public, so then I went and got certified, friend. So don't worry about it.
I'm just gonna say that because she was life coaching folks already before she even got life coach certified. So we just gonna keep it like that. But you do not have to be a certified life coach, nothing on paper to put you as a life coach. If you want to say you a life coach, you be what you be. You say, I am a life coach. The rest of the stuff will catch up because the universe will catch up with what it is you're supposed to be doing. If that's what God called you to do, you better run it, baby.
You know, one more thing, like I, as a personal trainer, I have a lot of like real skinny friends who are personal trainers. And let me tell you something. It used to bother me that that people would ask me to train them, and then they would go over to my best friend and train them, or to other people and train them. And I had to understand, like, even clients told me, they were like, you know, there's a difference. Like, yes, she may be snatched, she may be this, she may be that. She's like, you know what? But I know for a fact that when I'm on this 15th jumping jack, I know for a fact that you understand what it feels like at that moment to almost quit, but you didn't. Mm-hmm. That's what I want. I want someone who really believes in me. So I'm only saying this, like, child, like she said, I've been life coaching people all my life as a Capricorn. I feel that people just come on and just lay their hair right here, and I got to fix their life like I'm Ayanla. And I said, okay, friend, pay me for that now. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Corey, because you over here working in the ward, friend. Go ahead and bring some of that black girl magic out. Because I can see you, girl. I can see the shine on you, friend. I can hear it. You sound like a coach. See, I sound like, you know, a 5-year-old. But you sound like a coach. You know.
So that's all I want to pass that, and I did it on Zoom, so you can't run from it now.
Yeah, coach.
I'm just saying, you know, scratching the back of my neck.
Yeah.
And you could take that KK from Kardashian and be like, Corey the coach with a K. There it is. Get you a K and a K, and then you get a circle around it, and then you like.
Y'all gonna make me do it, okay?
You see, we done branded you. I done came up with a logo for you.
They got the logo and everything going.
Well, so you see, I kept on tagging her on Instagram with the IG booklet thing, you know, the coaching booklet, whatever that was.
Oh, see, I knew you was doing that. You tried me. I seen that. I said, so you just gonna push me to do it, right? I knew what you was doing, Melvina. You something else.
But I'm getting one myself, so I'm gonna get myself on track too. So why you playing? I'm just saying, you know. But hey, I acknowledge you as that. I've always acknowledged it, especially when you start doing those the talks and the video.
Vessel talk, my
vessel talk. And we were talking about narcissism, girl. She laid it to the nines with that. You were talking about narcissism like it was nobody's business, and I'm like, dang. But this is what we need. This is what we need, because we all have different personalities and we all have different versions of it. And there's no right, no wrong in anything. It's just, okay, I understand where she's coming from. I understand where she's coming from. And I understand where she's coming from. Now, what can I get from all of them? And so people can understand where I'm coming from. And you know what I'm saying? It's all a melting pot of love and understanding. That's why it's like, oh, boo, please. You life coach my foot. Yes, you are.
Yeah, I think Vessel Talk's actually making a comeback, not in the form that it was, but a different type of format.
I think it's needed. You were the one that encouraged me to get out there and start doing this. This is, you know, I appreciate that, seriously.
Yeah,
so
it's each other, that's for sure.
You know, you're the reason I'm a minister now. I'm a minister.
No, you are the reason you're a minister now.
Well,
you did the work.
But God used you as the instrument to get me to take that step. Yeah. Because I didn't know nothing about no daggone University of Metaphysics. I would have never done that. It took me, a year and a half to finally get to it. But the seed was planted. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's all it takes. So yeah, you get that. God used you for that, and I thank God for that. Definitely. You know, and Jasmine and a couple of my students, they're still calling me, you know, and everybody ain't getting a free session.
And don't care what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. I am in shambles.
It's the best.
And the thing is that not how I be acting? I'm very dramatic. It may be something that's not even as if I am about to die. Oh, okay. You about to die? Maybe not die, but friend, yes.
And I give her moment. I do. And that's what I do with all I swear. She called me one week, and I hadn't talked to Jasmine in a minute now. Mind you, then all of a sudden out of the blue, where the heck you come from? I'm having I just had oh Lord. And I'll be like in the middle, like she said, don't care. And then here come my other one. She just came back from overseas because she was on the ship because she's in the military. So she's in the Navy. So they just came back off, little 6-month bit. So she's like, Auntie, we need, I'm auntie now. See, this one was calling me auntie too. Auntie, I'm like, okay. So I gave them my time because I know they really, really, they do the work. There are times when I've had to go back and go to them and be like, where's your homework at that we did in class when you was doing your sessions? Go back to your homework. I need you to pull this sheet out and read it. Won't I do it, Jazz? You see she rolling her eyes.
You see that eye roll?
I will do it. There was a reason I pulled off, and that's why I'm doing a workbook too, Shauna. That workbook that I'm trying to get you to do, but you know I need to do too, because I think all of that is important in helping to understand who you are, because you do need to know your boundaries. You do need to know what you're not gonna put up with. You do need to know your weaknesses. You need to know all of that, and that sheet itself, that literally makes you think. Because when I had to do it, I was doing it for a prophetic class I was in online with a woman. She's in California too. What is her name? You might know her of that. She, good Lord, I can't think. Alicia, Jones or something. She is out there by Palo Alto, I think. But, huh?
Is it Anjanette Jones?
It's Angela. I gotta find her name. Is it Angela? Good. She's the same age as me, but she's out there in Palo Alto. And she was doing prophetic classes online, and I signed up for one. I learned a lot. But, I mean, she had me do that thing I had Jasmine do, and that's where I got it from, because I called her. I asked her, I said, can I use this in my sessions? Because it helped me understand anger. The one thing she kept noticing about me was my anger. And she's like, you are angry. I mean, I was angry, and I didn't realize how far it was going back. It was going back to where when I was dealing with a married man, and I still had that anger in me. That's why it was so important for me, everybody is different, to make sure I forgave him, because in order for me to forgive him, in order for me to move on, I had to let that go. And that was the only way for me to be able to let it go. I had to be like, okay, you know what? I'm releasing you from this because it ain't good for me.
I don't know.
I didn't have to tell him that though.
Oh, because I was gonna say, in that regard, I'm with girlfriend here, friend. I'm gonna block your ass and be done.
I had to, but you know what? The best part about that is when that person came back to me and said, you know what? This is what I was dealing with. And I feel like any person that can come to you and say, I was wrong and I was dealing with blah, blah, blah. Everybody's dealing with some stuff, and some people don't realize this is, again, the triggers that are causing you to act a damn fool. This person, whatever that healing was that person went through, mind you, I ain't been to California in 20 years. Whatever it took them to get to that point, to come reach out to me in an inbox and say, this is what I was going through, and admit the truth about it. Okay, I hear you. At that time when it was told to me, I wasn't hearing it. It was like it brought back that, at the time it was 10 years. It brought it all back up again, and it was like a whole wave came over me, and all of a sudden the anger just took over. And I mean, to the point where that night I went to bed screaming, hollering, yelling, cussing, fussing, and growling, dang near foaming at the mouth, because it was like I was right back there again at all the pain that I went through. I remember when I was in the psych ward, the pills I took, all the stuff that I went through, I was just, it was bad. And everybody was getting it. So from that point forward, when they came to me and said, I'm sorry, this is what I did. Well, they said I'm sorry in a way they only knew to say I'm sorry. Some people don't know how to say those two words. And it's unfortunate. You got to be able to get past that. Because some people, well, you didn't say you sorry, so you didn't mean it. So it took me another 10 years. 10 more years after he sought me out to apologize, to help me. 10 more years, and then I was like, okay, now I'm good. So then once I was able to get past that and look at the whole picture of myself, then I could hear what he was saying. Because before that, I wasn't hearing a freaking word he was saying. I hear you. I don't care. Yeah. Whatever. But it was still affecting my life. So he wasn't the only person that I had to go back to in my life and fix. Now, some issues in my life I haven't been able to go back to. So I just say, I give it to God. Again, some people you're not going to be able to do that to. But for me, I got a lot of healing done over these last 20 years. I mean, stuff that happened to me from high school. Seriously.
Yeah.
I've had to apologize to people. This man's wife, I had to apologize to her. I could not sleep until I apologized to her. And I mean, it broke me. And even after I apologized to her, I mean, I was like, I'm so sorry. Da, 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 da. Girl, don't worry about it. You still my sister. I love you. Here's my number. Call me sometime. What did that do? That put me in a deeper hole because I was crying even worse then. It was bad. And then when she passed away, I felt like the forgiveness that she gave me, crazy as it sounds, I felt like the forgiveness that she gave me was gone when she passed. I was like, you can't die. You can't die. You literally, you cannot die. I was a mess because I was driving and I was, you know how you drive and you ain't supposed to be on Facebook as it is. And I saw the posting about her daughter posted and I'm like, I thought I was hallucinating. So you know you in the middle of the road and you do like, wait a minute, wait, hold on. So I had to pull off the road into Kroger parking lot and I said, wait a minute. I mean, because it didn't make no sense. I'm seeing things. So I'm scrolling and I go to her page and then I see our choir director from back in the day post on her page. And I just instantly got out the car. And I'm in Kroger parking lot walking around in a haze, can't see in front of me. Car could have came down the street and hit the road and hit me. I saw a cart, one of the shopping carts, and that's all I could see because nothing else made sense. I couldn't breathe. And I'm reaching out for this cart, and it just seemed the longest time to get to that cart. And all of a sudden, I finally got to the cart because I was really ready to pass out. It just seemed so unreal. And the only thing I can say is you can't be dead. You cannot be dead. You can't. You forgave me. You forgave me. I mean, it was hard. And I didn't think I was going to get past that. That was like last year. So I would have to say earlier this year, it finally, the wave passed because I felt like my forgiveness, I didn't, you know how you get, because that you needed that. I needed that, hear that. But I still hadn't forgiven myself.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. And then after she died, I'm like, you don't, no, you no.
That needs to be the next session about forgiveness because I have some
that's a hard thing.
Concepts about it other than does your concept of forgiveness, does it come from being in like religion or?
Probably so, but probably so. Even though I haven't been to church in long time, probably about 2013 or 14 was the last time I've been to church. I made it. Me and God had this conversation. I'm not doing this again. We done already been through this too many times. I ain't doing it again. And yeah, so, but at the same time, the pastor that the church that I was going to at that time, the last church I was going to, he was talking about the call on your life. You know, how do you know your call? And the one thing he said that gave me what I know I needed, he was like, everybody's call on their life is not within the four walls of a church or the four walls of a building. And when he said that, something in me flipped and I knew it. I knew because I already said it. I'm like, I'm not doing this no more. We need to talk because I'm just not doing it, you know. And when he said that, he didn't know I had that conversation with God. Mm-hmm. But I knew that was my confirmation to say, okay, this is not where you belong. You got that right, Jack, because somebody gonna get told.
I think I will forgive you and not have to tell you I forgive you. Like in my past situation that just happened recently, I forgive him from the damn chair I'm sitting in. You stay over there. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Forgive you. If I see you, I ain't gonna throw no hands. I won't throw hands, but I don't have to have that conversation like I forgive you. And I don't need them to ask me for forgiveness because sometimes I be feeling like it's phony. I just need to go ahead and let go or whatever. And like, I think a lot of times when you're forgiving somebody, you really are trying to forgive yourself. Because a lot of times you be like, I was so this, I was so this, I was so this. And you put this on that person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Because a lot of it, you know, even then, like I said, after a lot of that, I was still in that place of, not forgiving myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it took me years. 20
So,
years is a long time.
friend, that's a very damn long time. And that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, I unpacked some. Girl, I got about 2 cases in the dumpster in a little bit.
All right, so what you got to do is you're going to have to plan the next session on forgiveness. Give us a date, friend. And then we got to unpack that thing.
We're gonna
Yeah.
unpack the
I
child.
hope no one gets mad at me, but because I just don't.
This is
I
what life
can't
coaching
get
is
with,
about.
yeah, I can't get with the religious forgiveness theme. But
And it was initially like that, but I guess for me, I just needed to do it to heal. I just needed to do it to heal. Now, like I said, everybody didn't get that. It was just certain things that really were so deep till it was like ingrained in me. I'm like, because some people's like, okay, talk to you later, bye, see you later, peace out, holla back. I don't care. Whatever. Like, deuces.
Yeah, I was, when you be real mad, you be having that, I'm gonna just drive my car through the front of the window. You gotta talk yourself off that ledge, friend, because I be on that ledge like, I got a kid and a baby. I got a kid and I need to live. But friend, if I don't forgive, I may just ride through not to your house, but through your house. And I'm just trying to be a better me. But see, sis got me feeling like I feel her. Like it's just some things you gotta walk away from, and sometimes you're really just forgiving yourself. Sometimes you be like,
most of it,
girl, you were stupid, but you're not stupid no more. You smart girl, you done got away, friend. So we'll schedule that for the next session, honey. Yes.
So I want to thank everybody because we're about to wind it up. And I want to thank all of you who came on. I appreciate you. Again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Facebook. You can reach out to Jasmine on Facebook. You can reach out to Corey on Instagram. What is your Instagram, Corey?
K Guyton Photography.
Okay. And you can reach me at Rebirth Dimension Holistic Healing. Okay, forgetting it. And then
see, mine is easy. Goddess Lane Consulting.
Goddess Lane Consulting for Jasmine. So we're going to set another one up for next week. And I believe that the topic is going to be what? Forgiveness. Forgiveness, y'all. That's that cuss word y'all don't like. Stop cussing at me.
Forgive. Friend. Corey said, no, friend. I'm not finna forgive. I'm finna say out of sight, out of mind.
I'm just going to kick you to the curb. How about that? So I love you all. Thank you all for chiming in. I appreciate you. Share this on your pages, please. I'm going to post it on Facebook, but then on my YouTube, I'm going to share with everyone as well. Give me a little bit of time here between the night. Probably not tonight, but tomorrow you will definitely see the YouTube page, and I will share with everyone. I encourage you all, if you have any questions, again, please reach out to us. We welcome all ladies, all sisters, every female in the world. Love everybody.
Yes.
With that being said, I want to say thank you to Corey and Jazz and Maddie and Ashley and everybody else that chimed in. I don't know what happened to Diane. Did you know Diane? Corey? Oh, she must have just saw one of the postings. So, thank you guys for chiming in. I appreciate you guys for doing this with me. And y'all know we got a whole bunch more coming up. We about to do this thing, y'all. So yeah, get ready because y'all about to have some classes, some sessions, some people gonna be calling you.
Hello.
Oh my goodness.
Get ready. Get ready for it. Get ready, Corey. I ain't playing with you.
Y'all are wonderful. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on tonight. I'm gonna try to bring it a little bit better with this forgiveness thing. Maybe I'll get my point across a little better without sounding, so cutthroat.
No, I said it was gonna be what? Real and raw.
I don't know.
I'm not expecting nothing else.
I believe in cutting folk off.
She want to cut somebody. Okay.
See, we got enough being cute. We got enough of being okay. I have respect for a lot of all the coaches I date, but come as you are. That ain't how it correct, Curry. When me and you first met, you already know.
I know.
So come on with it.
All right.
That's how we been friends. We stayed friends. We came back when we separated. Ain't nothing. Girl, bye.
I know.
Look,
This
now
was good.
listen.
This was great.
So Jasmine and you too. That I encourage you to come back on next time, honey. And I appreciate you so much for getting my book, and I appreciate you for chiming in. Share it on your page, girl.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
She over in that California time. Mm-hmm. It's my bedtime.
It's looking so dark over here because it's smoky.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys got those California fires. Please be safe.
Please be safe. Please be safe. And thank you for having me on. It was so fun. I love it. I can't wait for the next one.
Yes, ma'am. All right then, everybody. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you and check you out soon.
All right. Take care now.
Take care. Bye, everybody.